We have a $20 donation from Victor. Greetings from the Netherlands. Me and my friends have been watching GDQ events for years, and every time it gets bigger, better, and faster. Keep it up, guys. We have $15 from an anonymous donor. Greetings from the UK. I've been tuning into the stream all week, and I've been enjoying it immensely. Keep up the great playing, speedrunners, and remember, save the frames, kill the animals. And we will be right back, but first we're going to play a brief Twitch ad. We have a $25 donation from AJ. I'm stuck homesick, and I couldn't think of a better time to donate for a great cause. Thanks to all players, staff, and supporters for your time and talents. I look forward to this event every year. We have $50 from Baal. Talos and Portal back-to-back. Hell yeah, shut up and take my money. And with that, we're going to throw it over to Feasel interviewing Puwexil, the Chrono Trigger runner.
Hey everybody, I'm Feasel. I'm here with Puwexil, who's going to be running Chrono Trigger coming up in just a couple of hours after Portal and Bionic Commando Rearmed. Thanks for talking with us today.
My pleasure.
So you've been in the community for quite a while. I know you and I have known each other for a number of years. How did you get started in speedrunning?
It's actually how I got started in speedrunning is actually not what a lot of people would expect to hear from me. I want to say like in 2005 or 6 or so, I did a 100% playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 3 for the PlayStation 2. And I used an FAQ on Game FAQs as part of finding all of the items, basically. And then in the credits section of that FAQ, there was a link to the speedrun of the game on Speed Demo's archive. So I watched that, and then watched like a bunch of other videos there. And I was mostly just kind of a lurker and viewer of finished speedruns for about the next 5 years or so after that. But it wasn't really until like live streaming took off that I really started to kind of feel motivated to actually do some speedrunning of my own, because I think a big part of that was that it made it seem more like something I can do, when I'm like seeing the amount of work and the amount of failure that goes into producing a kind of a completed run along the way, basically.
So you started out with something pretty different from an RPG. How did you get into the RPG side of speedrunning?
Well, RPGs have always been one of my favorite genres of games just to play to. Like my first RPG was Dragon Warrior for the NES, because I got a free cartridge for subscribing to Nintendo Power, like a lot of people. And like when I played Dragon Warrior, it was just kind of mind-blowing for me that it was possible to have an NES game that took me more than a weekend to beat, much more than a weekend.
Yes.
And I guess probably another part of it too was that the number of games I was given as a kid was fairly limited. I pretty much just got to pick one for my birthday and or Christmas, and RPGs I felt like would give me the most kind of play value and replay value, so I would always ask for RPGs. Like the copy of Chrono Trigger I'm going to be doing my run on this afternoon was given to me as a Christmas present the year it came out.
Yeah, you're almost forced to speedrun a game or play it over and over again when it's the only, don't have very many to choose from. So let's take our first question from Twitter here. What made you want to run Chrono?
Well, it's always been one of my favorite RPGs from when I was a kid, and then I'd always been kind of interested in learning to speedrun it too, but kind of the main thing that kind of made it happen was that in the year 2015, that was the first year that we had another speedrun marathon called RPG Limit Break, it's kind of a similar format to Games Done Quick, but it focuses exclusively on the RPG genre. And the runner that submitted Chrono Trigger got it accepted, but then it didn't, and they ended up not being able to make it. And then because of the way it fit in the timeline, rather than change the game list, my good friend Essentia and I decided to me learn and her relearn the Chrono Trigger 100% categories, and then run it for that marathon. I've basically been running it off and on ever since.
Wow. Well, I'd say a lot of people consider it to be one of the best SNES RPGs, if not the best. I always see it at the top of the list, so I definitely understand that. The category that we're going to be seeing today is something that we haven't seen before in a GDQ. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, this is going to be, I believe, the 4th time that Chrono Trigger has been run in a GDQ marathon, and all 3 previous appearances of it were the 100% category, which is all side quests, basically. And this is going to be an any percent category. It's any percent no wrong warp, or any percent no Lavos shell skip, as it's called in the community. And I mean, even people that have saw my run of it 2 years ago are definitely going to be in for some surprises too, just because this category is roughly 2 hours shorter than than 100%, and how exactly I finish the game is probably going to surprise a lot of people too, because it's not only going to be about exploiting both programming glitches and also manipulating random elements in the game, but also just really capitalizing on the way the game is structured too, as far as like when it gives you access to the final boss, along with the tools that you need in order to defeat it.
Okay. So it's good that people are going to be seeing something a little different. We have seen Chrono quite a bit. This Lavos shell skip, that is what you're not doing in the category. Do you want to just give a little background on what that is? Yeah,
well, it's a wrong warp, basically, that you can do pretty much at the end of a run, and it's quadruple frame perfect. And if you're able to pull it off, it lets you save about 15 minutes, basically by skipping the entire boss rush and then fight with Lavos' shell as part of the final boss sequence. It's true any percent Chrono Trigger actually isn't a very popular competitive category right now. I think mostly just both because of the difficulty of doing Lavos shell skip, since it is quadruple frame perfect, and it's after you've already been playing for 2.5 hours, basically, and then personally, I'm not really just a fan of kind of what it does to the game, too, just because it kind of leaves us without really any kind of final boss. We just we do the skip and then do some more glitches, and then the game kind of ends after that. I mean, I have a lot of respect for people that have tried that category and been able to get good times with it, though. For sure.
Maybe we'll see that in one of the future GDQs somewhere to go
maybe.
from here.
I mean. You never know you never know what the future holds, after all.
All right. Well, another question from Twitter we have here. What is your favorite part of the run?
For the category I'm going to be running this evening, it's actually the Lavos shell battle at the end of the game, just because it's about a 20-minute long boss gauntlet, where pretty much every turn matters in some way, because we're doing what we call RNG manipulation, where we're kind of performing actions in a set order in order to manipulate the outcome. And it's having just a fight that long and that tense is it's a kind of an element that's not in any other category of Chrono Trigger or really any other games I speedrun too.
Right. I mean, a 20-minute long battle. I mean, that's yeah, with no downtime. That's pretty intense. Yes, agreed. Well, you mentioned RNG, and of course, we have to ask you. But aside from the RNG, what's the most frustrating part of the Chrono Trigger run?
For me, I would say it's a couple of the boss skips that are done as part of the route, just because there's a couple boss skips where I'm actually kind of trying to hit certain frame windows in a repeating cycle in order to kind of delay the game registering that it's supposed to be triggering a boss fight, and none of them are like super punishing if I miss them, just because I'm going to be safety saving before. But I mean, it is like taking multiple attempts to get one of those is a little frustrating for me, just because it's pretty much just pure execution.
As a marathon run, is there anything that you're worried about that may be a little unsafe, or do you think this run is pretty much going to be close to estimate?
Well, I got a 3:05 in my practice run I did right before this, which is 10 minutes below my estimate, doing pretty much this exact same route I'm going to be doing for the marathon. I mean, the main thing I'd be concerned about is risking a death to Lavos's shell, because, like I said, it's a 20-minute long fight. So if I died there, that would be a pretty punishing time loss.
That'd be a lot to repeat.
So yeah, I am both going to be giving it my utmost concentration, along with just doing a few things a little more conservatively than I otherwise would, just to ensure a victory.
Okay. Well, we have another question from Twitter who says that I find menuing in games highly difficult. Are there any tips for people who want to get better at menuing?
Oh, sure. I'd say probably the two main ways I would recommend kind of getting better at doing menuing in RPG runs are to first kind of get a good set of notes as far as reminding you what exactly you need to do, and try to kind of optimize it as much as possible as far as like minimizing the number of like inputs you need to do as far as like paging through menus or like switching characters, just because the less inputs you have to do, the less stuff you have to remember. And then just practice too. I mean, like for RPGs that I run, I put pretty much as much practice time into menus as I do for like fights or other aspects of the game, because it's important. I mean,
sure, a game that long, there's a lot of menuing, and it's stuff that you can speed up, as opposed to most of the rest of the game is stuff that takes fixed amount of time to do.
Yeah, because menuing is invariably all execution as far as doing it both fast and accurately.
Yeah. A lot of people running RPGs wonder like how much they should be relying on notes, especially for a long RPG. You probably can't get away with no notes at all, but like, do you tend to write out really general stuff, or are you very specific? Like every single action gets a line in your notes. Like, how do you do that?
The notes I use are usually usually crib notes, as far as pretty much just specific stuff that I see myself needing to remember, even when I'm needing a little help remembering, even when I've put a lot of time into practice and doing runs, like menus, or in some cases just like easily missable story triggers. And I think I think being able to do an entire run of an RPG without notes is definitely kind of a desirable skill, but also just making efficient use of notes within a run too, without having it actually cost you any time, I think is good too. Like knowing, like planning out points where you can look at your notes, like when you're just text mashing through a cutscene or something, so that you're not really like having to stop your run in order to look at your notes, and then just using like your short-term memory to get prepared for your next menu or something like that.
I see. That's kind of important to like take little digestible chunks and read them at a time and internalize them and keep going. Can we switch topics here? I want to talk a little bit about RPG Limit Break.
Sure.
You brought that up a little bit, but that's a huge thing that you do. In addition to being a player, you're also a community organizer. You run the RPG Limit Break channel, and you run the marathons, the RPG marathons. So can you tell me, what do you enjoy about doing that? What makes you want to put the time into that?
Sure. Well, again, RPG Limit Break is it's a marathon that we just had our third instance of back in May, it's a very similar format to GDQ, but the focus is on RPGs, and then it's also a charity fundraiser too for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And I guess probably the single biggest thing that makes me kind of proud of what I and my team have done with organizing that event is just giving a lot of more people an opportunity to be part of a on-site charity marathon too. Just because, I mean, games done quick is it's about giving kind of a little something for everybody as far as kind of all types of games we want to have represented, and that unfortunately means that there's only so many hours that we can allocate for the RPG genre, and because the runs are longer, that means usually only like 3 to 5 runs or so. So having another event where we can fit like 40 runs basically over the course of a week just kind of gets a lot more people in the community that opportunity to just to kind of be part of a special charity fundraising event like that.
Yeah, it seems like it really solidifies the community too, giving all these RPG runners kind of a rallying point. Mm-hmm. Do you guys have a Discord, or if I'm an RPG runner and just in general, like where would I go to meet with other people who like this stuff?
Well, we do have a Discord. It's discord.gg/rpglb is the name of our Discord server, and yeah, I mean there's a channel there just for generally talking about RPGs or speed running them, along with about the RPG Limit Break event itself too. So yeah, anybody interested, definitely check us out.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for talking with us.
My pleasure.
And your run is coming up after Portal. We got Bionic Commando Rearmed and then Chrono Trigger. So just a couple hours from now, we're going to see Puwexil running Chrono Trigger. And that is going to be probably one of my favorite things to see in this marathon, I've got to say. Mm-hmm. So anyway, thank you. And we're going to throw it over to the front for Portal.
Thank you, Feasel and Puwexil. And with that, here is Portal with alexh0we.
Drop twitch.tv/alexh0we from the server.
This is too hard.
What does that console command do?
Oh, it's great. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Unknown command.
Am I on screen now?
We are very live right now.
Oh, hi. All right, so time is going to start as soon as my crosshair appears, so it's not right away. So I'll give a little bit of countdown before it happens. Normally we're not actually in here. We normally do a thing called vault save, but that's cheating, so we're not doing it. Timing will start about now. All right. So this is inbounds. Quick definition of the category is that you are not allowed to put your camera or portals out of bounds. And everything else is fair game, essentially. But I'm going to quickly introduce my couch. There is Ace of Spades. He is the glitchless world record holder, also a very good inbounds runner. There's my evil twin brother from the future, alexh0we. Say hello.
Hello.
Ace also say hello.
Hi.
And then there's Rob, Perp. He's just there. Hi.
Hello.
Anyway, the first thing we're going to be doing in this run is the movement ABH, which you may have seen in Half-Life 2, accelerated backhopping. How it works is when Valve wanted to patch out bunny hopping from the source engine, they made it so the game pushes you backwards if you go too fast. So it just keeps giving you negative speed, which if you look backwards just ends up making you go faster. So we're going to be doing that right here, trying to get to the end of chamber 0 here. All right, very good. Ace told me I wasn't going to get that. And, oh.
I mean, if it was me up there, I wouldn't have.
Yeah, probably not.
Chamber gives me flashbacks.
So yeah, alexh0we loves this game. This is his favorite speedrun, favorite video game. Everything about it is perfect to him. I don't know why he's not up here doing this, in all honesty. Here I'm going to be trying to do a trick called BSG. It's probably not going to work because it's very computer-based, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Essentially, this radio that we're holding is pushing us off of this button if we are save loading with correct timing. We did get it, wow.
Wow. I am impressed, to say the least.
I am so happy I got that, actually. Oh, my God. Essentially, what that does is it lets you skip a sequence where you get a cube, put it on the button, and go in there. In an in-game time run, which is what we normally do, it saves about 13 seconds. In real time, it probably only saves like 6 or something. But anyway, this is Chamber 2. We're going to be waiting a little bit here, so I'm going to explain the 2 tricks we're going to be doing a majority of the time in the run. The first one's called Edge Glitch, where when you get stuck on a portal by standing on top of it or to the side of it when it's open, the game will put your model on the other end of the portal while keeping your camera on the same end of the portal. If we save and load in this state, we get into a state called save glitch, which is completely inbounds and allowed in every instance, by the way. So we're going to be using that to do a lot of skips throughout the game. It's a very broken glitch that is pretty much the defining factor of this game. So we get save glitched right here, and then we're going to be jumping in an elevator. Let's actually get save glitched this time. Very good start. So we're going to get save glitched here. We actually are this time. And we're going to be shooting through the floor of the elevator, and then we're going to be shooting through the floor here, and now we're in chamber 3. So that's fun. That skips the elevator. That skips the elevator going from chamber 2 to chamber 3. It saves about 6 seconds. That's the first of many save glitches in this run. Basically, we do a save glitch wherever it is useful at this point, thanks to a bunch of recent reroutes that are new and haven't been seen before at GDQ. So hopefully we can show off some cool stuff. This is the first save glitch ever really found. Just lets you walk through that wall there because you're back at the orange portal, and also it makes doors not have collision. It's pretty nice. Funny thing is that back in the olden days of like 2013, 2012 even, two people, Zimbabwe and Sully JHF, basically said the current definition of the category, which I said before, and in their eyes it was what ruined inbounds for them, but makes the category really neat for me because save glitching is really cool. We can't really do anything here, we just have to wait for GLaDOS to stop talking. So just kind of have to mess around for a bit, nothing really interesting to do.
The reason he's firing these random portals, like seemingly random portals through the floor when doing the save glitch is that your actual position depends on where the two portals that you're using to save glitch are, and any minor misstep can cause you to fall infinitely out of bounds. So in order to remain in bounds, he needs to be incredibly careful.
Yeah, it's very easy to mess up save glitches in this game. A lot of being good at this game is having really good execution, and being able to do all these save glitches fairly easily. It's pretty easy to mess up save glitches when they're fairly long. Like later in the game, they get really crazy, and a slightly bad angle can mean you won't be able to shoot where you want to at the very end, or you'll end up shooting a portal out of bounds, which invalidates your run, essentially, unless you reload a save. You may notice with this map that we don't actually do puzzles. You can just kind of jump to the end of them by doing some neat physics flings. Valve didn't really think when they made some of these. However, some of them, they were intentional and how you didn't have to do anything. I'm not doing ABH over Goo, I'm sorry. Please don't yell at me.
I'm disappointed.
Everyone hates me in the Portal community now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
That's a very hard trick, ABH over Goo, that I didn't do there. It saves like 2 seconds where you basically just do one ABH from the elevator into this elevator. It's really, really hard, probably the hardest thing you can do in this run at the moment. Chamber 9, we're going to be shooting a portal in between this door here. Hopefully it doesn't fizzle. Okay, can we fit? Nice.
Make no attempt to solve it.
And we're just going to continue to Chamber 10. The game's going to get a little bit more interesting once we get the orange portal gun very soon here. Then we're going to be doing save glitches all over the place. It'll be very neat. Anyway. Chamber 10, there is another ridiculously hard strike called door launch. Do you want to explain it, Ace?
So basically, you're trying to AFH here, which is the same thing as ABH, and you're trying to get enough speed so that whenever you hit this little lip of the door there, you can launch yourself all the way into the elevator without having to wait for these panels to come out. It's super difficult to get, though, and I don't really know anyone who can actually get it consistently.
It's pretty much impossible to get consistently because you need to get near tick perfect. A tick is basically a frame. AFH is, or else you won't have enough speed to make it up.
Yeah. You need 3 perfect hops, and then to angle yourself correctly when you hit the door. It's not something that's consistent, but it's a nice little 10-second bonus if you do get it.
All right, here, that was not good enough. We just did an AFH there to get the orange portal gun immediately, and now we're going to be doing a neat save glitch here. This save glitch is one of the first really big ones in the run that has a lot of complicated shots. Once you get the orange portal gun, it's a lot more free that you can save glitch wherever you want, do all these crazy things. So we just skipped Chamber 11 and 12. We didn't go in 12 at all because that's slow. No one wants to do that.
I forgot there was a Chamber 12, to be honest.
You were on glitchless. You remember Chamber 12 was there. Yep. Cube throw is also out of bounds, by the way.
Friendly reminder.
We would be doing a save glitch here, but it's slower RTA. So we're going to be doing this cube threat here. Thanks. This is out of bounds. I'm sorry. SGDQ2017 basically made that out of bounds like 2 years ago, but no one really cares. It was 4 years ago, more like. Because SGDQ2017 hates fun.
I'm from the old generation of Portal. All right.
Yeah, you run cool categories like inbounds, no out of bounds.
Yeah. This is inbounds. I run inbounds, no out of bounds, which is inbounds that stays inbounds, so it doesn't go out of bounds.
There's another category to this run called Inbounds Legacy, where a lot of the time in this category, our model goes out of bounds, but not our camera, and our camera's the only thing that really matters. In Legacy Inbounds, you're not allowed to put your model out of bounds, and you're also not allowed to do anything really save glitch related. So it's basically just that category that the old people who don't like save glitching run. We're going to be doing another save glitch here. This one is pretty easy to follow because you kind of just follow your portal all the time. It's pretty fun. It's going to be doing all this. Nice. Let's try that again. There we go. Interesting. All right, that was a little rough, but anyway. Now we're at the end of here. We're just going to be flinging ourselves into the elevator instead of doing a puzzle. And then we're going to be doing the 16, which is one of the more interesting chambers in the run because you actually do a lot more in the chamber than you really need to because we want to skip a large portion of chamber 17. So first, we're just going to be quickly setting up a little portal bump here. You want to quickly explain portal bump? Someone? Anyone?
So portal bumping, basically, if you place your portals in a specific way, you can get a portal just placed through a wall, because Valve programmed this game very well. And you can use that to skip GLaDOS' voice line here, and not have to wait for it to open the door.
Yeah, so here we're doing a specific save glitch where we're going to be getting a portal under the elevator leading from 16 to 17. We want to get this turret under the elevator because this turret is actually considered a box by Valve. They wanted you to be able to use the turrets in this chamber to push down a button. So that turret is actually named box in like the game's code, which will let us use it to push down a button. So we're going to be using that to skip a majority of chamber 17 here, if we can just get over there. So we're going to be doing a really hard glass jump here. Hopefully I can get it pretty quickly. I messed up. Messed up again. I'm not close enough. Oh, this is hard. Don't worry about it. I'll get it eventually.
This trick is very hard.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is one of the harder jumps in the run still. I don't do a setup for it because I'm too cool for that. Everyone else does like a double jump thing. There we go.
All right.
Wow, the
And the
turret
turret
was
came
like
through.
right there.
Yeah, you don't need to do anything with the companion cube. It just chills there for the rest of however long this facility's here. So all you people who love the companion cube, you don't have to be sad that it's gone. It will stay with us forever. Yay. Chamber 18 is another save glitch. A lot of these recent ones, like the one in 16 and this one, were discovered by a dude named Zy Martin. He's done a lot of routing in the recent years with this game and is responsible for a lot of the more recent things that have made save glitch a thing, a more prevalent thing, I should say, in the run. So thanks to him, we were able to bring down this game instead of it being like a 12-minute roughly run with almost a perfect run. The current record isn't like incredibly optimal, and it's currently an 11:13 by a guy named Puwexil. So shout out to that guy. All right, you can read like a donation or two because there's not really much to do here.
All right, we have a $6 donation from Pastel. Hey, Alex, so proud of you and all the progress you've made in the past, while as a person and a runner. Loved watching your stream on the grind, and thanks for all the endless hours of entertainment and laughter. You've pushed me to reach goals and shown that you really can do anything.
All right, don't have time for another sorry, but anyway, thank you, Kyle. We're going to be doing a quick thing called LAG here, where essentially when you have a portal on an angled surface and you jump through it, you kind of get stuck, and the game wants you to get unstuck, so it uses something really complicated called the unstuck code, which will teleport you horizontally throughout the map. We use that to get over to that place to set up another save glitch so we can get up here to set up another lag, which will let us get to the very end of this map.
Wow, first try.
Woo! This is actually a really solid run. Wow. Now we're in EOO. This is the escape section of the run where GLaDOS basically tries to burn us because she wants us to be dead because we're too good at using portals. We don't want to die, so we are trying to escape the facility, essentially, at this point. This is the first part of that map. Of that sequence, I should say, where we're just going to be doing a bunch of portal peaks. This one is fairly not glitched compared to everything else, but next chamber we're going to be getting right back to a save glitch, and that is probably the hardest one of the run that we're going to be doing, so hopefully we can get it first try. So EO1 here, Escape 01. We're going to be setting up a save glitch, a pretty specific one. This one is probably the most recently discovered and used in the inbounds route, also discovered by Zy Martin. We have to do a bunch of very specific shots here, and there's a high chance that this won't work just because of how ridiculously specific it is. All these angles I'm shooting at are fairly precise, and if I miss them, I have potential to not actually make it, but I did, so they're cool. All right, last map of the run here. We're coming to a close already. This game's really short. We're going to be doing something called AAG, which is the same thing as LAG, basically, except it's done with an acute angle, and it teleports you vertically as well. Door troll? No door troll. Let's go. Door troll is something that can sometimes happen either if you mistime it or the game just hates you. It doesn't really have any reason to happen, but we're going to be doing another one here because we want to go see GLaDOS, but unfortunately, it's kind of hard. There we go. We're in GLaDOS' room now. We're going to bring a turret with us to give her as a present. And the turret just shoots the cores off of her, so we don't have to do that whole sequence of like firing missiles at herself, because that's really slow. It takes like a minute and a half. We can just do this fight pretty much instantly. So yeah. We're going to be coming up on time in like 7 seconds here or something like that, so get ready with that. So 3, 2, 1, and nope, never mind.
The cores.
No, hold on. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait for this. Don't worry about it. Do. All right, and time.
There we go.
All right, I'm going to be trying to do a thing here. There we go. It's right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's where it is.
Nice. I have to do this fairly quickly. I'm trying to get to the room that everyone goes to after they do runs of this game, because what else is there to do? What was my time, by the way? Ooh, that's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good considering how bad 17 went. Yeah, we're going out of bounds now because the run's over. Oh, we're not going to be able to do it. That sucks.
Unfortunate.
What I was going to do there was if you go down there, you get to go to where the cake is. And I was going to do something that soft locks the game, where you put a cube on top of the cake, which causes the candle to not be able to go out. But yeah, I could show it off still if we have time, but it's kind of long to set up, so we can't. Anyway, that was Portal Inbounds. That's a very broken run. Thank you all for having me. I appreciate it. It's a very fun run to get into. Shout out to all the Source Runs guys once again for helping me get here and everything. Thank you so much, everybody, and good luck to the future runners.